What happened to Sammy Hagar?
Sammy Hagar was born in Monterey, California on October 13th, 1947. The year Hagar was born, his father was a bantamweight boxing champion. Hagar began his long musical career at the age of 18 when he learned to play the guitar. He learned that a young guitarist named Ronnie Montrose was creating his own band, and he decided that he was going to be the perfect lead singer for his band. Church and Carmacy eventually departed Montrose to join Hagar's solo band. On Capitol Records in 1976, Hagar released his debut solo album, 9 on a 10 scale, and launched a fast-paced career. In January of the following year, he released Sammy Hagar, commonly known as the Red Album, which includes the songs Red, Cruisin' and Boozin', and Rock and Roll Weekend. Then in October 1977, his second album, Musical Chairs, was released. Hagar piqued the interest of a wide range of listeners from the start of his career. He was chastised for his accessibility, while some chastised him for being too hefty and noisy. His music frequently expressed his belief in extraterrestrial life, as well as his interest in other mystical issues. Hagar began his career touring with prominent rock bands such as Kiss and Boston. In 1978, he was named Musician of the Year at the Bay Area Music Awards in San Francisco, California. In 1979, as his live performances grew in popularity, he began headlining his concerts. Bill Church, guitarist Gary Phil, keyboardist Alan Fitzgerald, and drummer Chuck Ruff were all members of his band at the time. When he returned to the studio to record Street Machine, he decided to produce the album himself. Trans Am Highway Wonderland, Plain Jane, and This Planet's on Fire, Burn in Hell were among the tunes included. Danger Zone, his follow-up album, was released in June of the same year and featured songs like Love or Money and 20th Century Man. In 1981, Hagar's band was recruited by drummer David Lauser, and the group began recording Standing Hampton for Hagar's new record company, Geffen Records. With I'll Fall in Love Again, There's Only One Way to Rock, and Heavy Metal, the album boosted Hagar's prominence. The latter song was included on the Heavy Metal soundtrack. Later, Hagar contributed songs to several film soundtracks, including Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Footloose, and Over the Top. The following year, with his third LP, Three Lockbox, which had songs like the title tune and Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy, Hagar began to ascend further up the Billboard charts. In 1984, however, Hagar decided to take a temporary break from his solo career. He co-founded HSAS with Journey guitarist Neil Schon, bassist Kenny Aronson, and drummer Michael Shreve. The band performed a handful of West Coast shows and released an album. In 1985, Hagar returned to his solo career with the hugely successful album VOA. VOA became platinum within a year thanks to the success of the smash tune I Can't Drive 55. Sammy Hagar was beginning to genuinely make his imprint on rock and roll after more than 10 years on his own. This is what Sammy Hagar has to say about how he joined Van Halen.
Yeah, the mechanic, Claudio Zampoli, who, he was working on Eddie's Lamborghinis, working on my Ferrari. Eddie sees my car in his showroom there because I was on tour doing the VOA tour, just coming home from the VOA tour. My car was there, and who's that? That's Sammy. Claudio, you should get him in the band. That simple. Eddie said, do you have his phone number? He goes, yeah. Eddie called me from the shop. And I said to my ex-wife, she's the only one that knows this, only one I said it to, but like I said, I talked about it in the book. I said, they're going to call me.
Oh, wow.
Because it just, when it was that fresh in my brain, I thought, well, they're not going to quit. This is Eddie Van Halen. He's just starting, And I said, and I think, who could they call?
Hagar flew down from his home in San Francisco to Los Angeles to jam with Van Halen. By the conclusion of the session, Hagar had chosen to abandon his solo career to join the band. The decision sparked outrage among Van Halen's detractors and fans alike. He had such a distinct style and character than Dave Lee Roth that few felt he could keep the band together. Van Halen released 5150 in 1986 with Hagar at the helm. The record was Van Halen's first #1 album, and the new lineup sold out every show on the tour. The friendship between Hagar and Van Halen was widely acknowledged, and the trio demonstrated an unmistakable togetherness in their live performances. The members of Van Halen were energized by Hagar's energy and positive attitude. Following the release of 5150, Hagar was acquired by Geffen Records to release another solo album to satisfy his contractual commitments. Eddie Van Halen performed bass on the record, which he also co-produced with Sammy Hagar. Originally titled Sammy Hagar, the name was altered as a result of a naming contest to I Never Said Goodbye. Van Halen's next album, OU812 album, was released in 1986. Hagar led Van Halen to another worldwide commercial endeavor 2 years later. The band created their nightclub in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, at the tip of Baja California. The club was named Cabo Wabo after the OU812 song of the same name. Hagar thereafter made a point to celebrate his birthday at Cabo Wabo every October. Los Tres Gusanos was a side group found by Hagar, Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony, and Hagar's former drummer David Lauster that performed at Cabo Wabo many times a year. Hagar later bought out the other Van Halen members and took over the club. Cabo Wabo eventually became the creator of its tequila brand, which first appeared in the United States in 1997. Hagar entered the fashion industry at the same time Cabo Wabo debuted. After becoming an active biker, he launched his brand of Red Rocker clothes and built a Red Rocker mountain bike. Eventually, he restricted the clothing sales to businesses in Northern California, and he later only sold it at Cabo Wabo. Van Halen returned in 1991 with their third album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and the monster smash Right Now. Hagar and his wife Betsy split following Van Halen's record tour. During the same year, their son Aaron Hagar joined a band called Bloodline, which included the offspring of other well-known performers such as members of The Doors, the Allman Brothers, and the son of Miles Davis. Van Halen took a vacation from the studio and recorded a live album called Live Right Here Right Now in 1993. The next year, Sammy Hagar issued Unboxed, a greatest hits collection of his solo work that included 2 new tracks, High Hopes and Buy My Way Into Heaven. In 1995, he reunited with Van Halen for the release of Balance, which featured the singles Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do and Can't Stop Loving You. Van Halen's fortunes began to deteriorate following the Balance tour. While Hagar was awaiting his new wife Carrie to give birth, the other members of the group requested that he would record the song Humans Being for the Twister soundtrack. After numerous more business and personal disagreements, Hagar parted ways with Van Halen. According to the band, Hagar aspired to be a solo performer. Hagar, on the other hand, insisted on being dismissed. Van Halen re-entered the studio with founding singer David Lee Roth to record a few songs for a greatest hits collection. Gary Cherone, a former Extreme member, then took up Hagar's position. With no common ground, the breakup became widely known. Despite being horrified by the betrayal, Hagar swiftly picked up the pieces. On a flight to Hawaii, Hagar encountered former Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart. Hart persuaded Hagar of the significance of going back into the studio straight away. Marching to Mars was Hagar's first solo release in 10 years. Little White Lie, the first song, was the single, and Both Sides Now was released as a follow-up. The album charted at number 18 on the Billboard 200. Roth and Hagar collaborated on the Song for Song, the Heavyweight Champs of Rock and Roll Tour, also known as the Sans Halen or Sam and Dave Tour, in the summer of 2002. The tour piqued the interest of the media and the public since it appeared more likely than even a Van Halen tour with Roth or Hagar. The tour drew enormous numbers and did not include any opening performers. Roth and Hagar rotated as the opening act. Michael Anthony appeared on multiple occasions as a guest with Hagar's Wabaritas, occasionally singing lead. Roth was never a teammate of Anthony's. Roth never appeared with him. Gary Cherone made an appearance on occasion for Sammy Hagar's set. Hagar released a live record, Live Hallelujah, which included Mike and Gary on vocals, as well as a documentary DVD, Long Road to Cabo, about his tour with Roth. Sammy Hagar's annual birthday bash has established itself as one of the most iconic jam sessions for rock artists to perform at. Since then, he's grown his Cabo Wabo Cantina empire to include profitable locations in Las Vegas and Hollywood. After touring with David Lee Roth, Hagar rejoined Van Halen in 2003. The band published a greatest hits CD, The Best of Both Worlds, on which Hagar sang lead vocals on many songs. Sammy Hagar's venture into spirits began with a personal quest to locate good tequila to enjoy with his buddies at the cantina. By 2007, he had made Cabo Wabo Tequila the second best-selling premium tequila in the United States. In 2010, Hagar sold his stake in that brand in a move widely seen as the beginning of the celebrity-backed spirits craze. Sammy shifted his focus to rum 1 year after winning the tequila business. Sammy's Beach Bar Rum received Best of Show honors from the Nightclub and Bar Show, as well as double gold honors from the Los Angeles Spirits Competition and the New York Spirits Competition. In 2016, Sammy Hagar had his own show, Rock and Roll Road Trip with Sammy Hagar, where he brings on some celebrity guests and they tell a story, drink some drinks, have some whiskey, have some rum, whatever they're into, and it's just an all-around good time. They've had 5 seasons of the show right now, and you should check it out. There's some good episodes out there. On May 10th, 2019, his debut album with The Circle, Space Between, debuted at number 1 on 4 Billboard charts, including number 1 on top album sales, number 1 on top rock albums, number 1 on hard rock albums, and number 1 independent albums. The band toured in support of the record throughout 2019, gained widespread acclaim from fans and reviewers alike. The Circle began in 2021 with the release of Lockdown 2020, an album collection of their enormously popular Lockdown sessions, which include raw and boisterous compact renditions of classic tunes that they jammed to backstage, but never meant to record. The digital music videos, which include hits like The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again, Bob Marley's Three Little Birds, AC/DC's Whole Lotta Rosie, and David Bowie's Heroes, were recorded remotely by each band member during the COVID-19 stay-at-homes. In 2008, Sammy and his wife Carrie established the Hagar Family Foundation. The private nonprofit organization is dedicated to food aid and children's problems. Hagar's hardscrabble childhood instilled in him an unbreakable work ethic that has propelled him to the top as a musician and entrepreneur, and continues to fuel his efforts. Since its inception in 2008, the foundation has donated more than $4 million to local communities. Sammy's band The Circle continues to tour the world, giving to local food banks in each city they visit. In 2014, he also launched Acoustic for a Cure, an annual Bay Area concert showcasing acoustic performances by some of music's biggest artists. And that's what happened to Sammy Hagar. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know, give me some of your favorite Sammy Hagar songs. Here are some of mine on the playlist below. I include a little bit of everything, a little bit Montrose, a little bit solo, a little bit Van Halen, a little bit Circle 2 as well, and some of his other work. So let me know your favorites. And he is still touring. He just got done doing a Texas tour as I'm recording this. He hasn't announced any more dates, but he will probably announce them knowing how he is. He was considering retirement, but now he just loves going on the road so much, and I can't wait to see him in concert if I ever get that opportunity. Thank you for watching. Let me know who I should do next, and I'll see you in the next video.